Have you ever wondered how winter animals were perceived and utilized in ancient Rome? From the icy Arctic hare to the majestic snow bear, these creatures played a fascinating role in the culture and beliefs of ancient Roman society. Today, we'll be digging through the frosty layers of history to uncover some astonishing facts about these winter animals and their significance in the Roman era. We'll unravel how these creatures, small in size but enormous in impact, held sway over the hearts and minds of the Romans. From sacred geese acting as divine messengers to hares being integral parts of winter feasts, it's a tale that's as surprising as finding a polar bear in the Sahara. So brace yourselves. We're about to embark on a journey colder than a snowman's handshake and as intriguing as a mystery wrapped in an enigma. Stay tuned for a journey back in time that will fill your mind with mind-boggling facts. The ancient Romans had a profound connection with animals, especially during the harsh winter months. Their lives intertwined with the cycles of nature, and as the winter chill approached, certain animals took center stage in their daily lives and beliefs. Among these were the geese, bears, and hares, each bearing a significant role in the Romans' perception of the icy season. They were not merely creatures braving the cold, they were symbols, omens, and even companions, providing the Romans with a tangible connection to the changing seasons and the gods they believed governed them. Geese, for instance, were seen as protectors and messengers of the gods. Known for their sharp senses and alertness, they were often kept in temples and homes as living alarm systems. In the realm of mythology, the sacred geese of Juno played a pivotal role in the defense of Rome, their honking allegedly alerting the Romans to an impending invasion. Bears, on the other hand, were associated with the winter solstice. They were revered for their strength and resilience, embodying the spirit of survival during the toughest times. Romans watched their hibernation patterns closely, believing that the timing of their slumber could predict the severity of the winter to come. Hares, with their remarkable ability to thrive in the snow, were symbols of fertility and abundance. Their presence was especially significant during the Feast of Saturnalia, a midwinter festival that celebrated the end of the agricultural year. Romans would often release hares as a symbol of prosperity for the coming year. These winter animals played more than practical roles in ancient Rome. They were part of their mythology, folklore, and everyday life. They were considered divine omens, symbols of the gods' will, and markers of seasonal changes. They were respected and revered, their behaviors closely observed and interpreted as signs from the divine. Winter animals were not just mere creatures for Romans, they held a deeper and symbolic meaning. Their presence was a constant reminder of the intricate relationship between humans, animals, and the natural world, a relationship deeply embedded in the fabric of ancient Roman society. Did you know that geese were considered sacred winter animals in ancient Rome? The sacred geese of Juno, a tale as old as time, stands as a testament to this. It's said that these honking heralds once saved Rome from a stealthy Gaulish invasion. Imagine a quiet winter's night at the Capitoline Hill, the city's last stronghold, disrupted by the cacophonous cackle of geese. The sacred geese of Juno, the Roman goddess of marriage and childbirth, had detected the approaching Gauls. Their clamor roused the Roman guards, saving the city from a disastrous defeat. These geese weren't just weekend warriors. They were also central to the Roman winter festivities. They were pampered and honored, their squawks and honks considered divine messages. So the next time you see a goose, remember the ancient Romans who looked at these birds not as mere animals, but saviors and symbols of divine intervention. These feathered friends were not just animals to Romans, but saviors and symbols of divine intervention. Bears were not just powerful beasts for Romans, they held a significant role in their winter solstice celebrations. In the heart of winter, when the days were shortest and the nights longest, the ancient Romans celebrated the winter solstice with grand festivities. Among the symbols and traditions, one creature held a particularly significant role: the bear. You see, for the Romans, the bear was more than just an impressive animal. It was a symbol of the raw power of nature, the cycle of life and death, and the rebirth that comes with the return of the sun after the darkest days of winter. Just as bears retreat into their dens during the harsh winter months, only to emerge again with the arrival of spring, the Romans too saw the winter solstice as a time of withdrawal and inner reflection, followed by a rebirth of sorts. It was a time to bid farewell to the old year and welcome the new, with all its possibilities and promise. The bear's hibernation was a potent symbol of this cycle. As they slumbered in their dens, seemingly dead to the world, they embodied the stillness and quiet of winter. But with the winter solstice and the promise of longer days, the bears would emerge once again, full of life and vigor, a symbol of the resilience and renewal that the Romans admired. The Romans revered the strength and power of the bear and saw in its yearly cycle a reflection of their own lives and the world around them. They celebrated the winter solstice with feasts, games, and rituals inspired by the bear, honoring its spirit and the lessons it taught them about the cyclical nature of life, the power of renewal, and the resilience in the face of adversity. In the bear, they found a symbol of their own strength, their ability to endure the harshest winters and emerge stronger, ready to face the challenges and opportunities of a new year. The mighty bear was a symbol of the strength and resilience that Romans admired and respected. Hares, known for their prolific breeding, were central to the Roman feast of Saturnalia, a highlight of the winter season. These long-eared, swift creatures were more than just woodland dwellers to the Romans. They played a significant role in one of the most important festivals in the Roman calendar, Saturnalia. In the heart of winter, Romans would throw aside their habitual seriousness and indulge in a week-long celebration of joy and merriment. Saturnalia was a time of feasting, role reversals, free speech, and gift-giving. And at the center of these festivities were hares, symbolizing fertility and abundance. Why the hare? Well, hares breed like, rabbits, producing several litters a year, each with multiple offspring. So it's no surprise that Romans associated them with fecundity and plenty. During Saturnalia, hares would be included in the lavish feasts, not just as a culinary delight, but as a potent symbol of the earth's bounty. But the hare's role in Saturnalia didn't stop at the dining table. It was also a popular gift, especially in the form of figurines. These hare figurines, often made of terracotta or bronze, would be exchanged among friends and family, carrying hopes of prosperity and growth for the coming year. The hare was also associated with the goddess Diana, the virgin huntress, who was often depicted with a hare at her side. This association further enhanced the hare's status as a symbol of fertility and rebirth, aligning perfectly with the spirit of Saturnalia, a festival that marked the end of the old year and the birth of the new. So, in the midst of the Roman winter, as the days grew short and the nights long, the hare emerged as a beacon of hope, promising abundance, renewal, and the return of the sun's warmth. The humble hare was much more than a creature of the wild to Romans. It was a symbol of prosperity and renewal. The ancient Romans' relationship with winter animals was complex and deeply symbolic. Over the course of this exploration, we've seen how these creatures were not simply a part of the natural landscape, but deeply entrenched within the fabric of Roman culture, traditions, and beliefs. Let's take a moment to recall the sacred geese of Juno. These weren't your everyday garden variety geese. They were considered divine messengers, their honks believed to be prophetic whispers from the goddess herself. The Romans held these feathered soothsayers in such high esteem that they were credited with saving Rome from the Gauls. Talk about a honk for victory. Then there were the bears, associated with the winter solstice. As the days grew shorter and colder, the Romans looked to these hibernating beasts as symbols of endurance and strength. The bear's ability to survive the harshest of winters was seen as a testament to the resilience of the Roman people themselves. It was as if the bear was whispering, "If I can endure winter's bite, so can you." And let's not forget the hares, those furry emblems of the feast of Saturnalia. These creatures, known for their prolific breeding, were seen as symbols of abundance and prosperity. Their presence at the feast of Saturnalia was a reminder of the hope for a bountiful harvest in the coming year, a hair-raising prospect indeed. So you see, these winter animals were more than just fauna to the ancient Romans. They were symbols, teachers, and guides, each echoing a different facet of Roman life and belief. They played an extraordinary role in the grand narrative of ancient Rome, shaping how Romans perceived the world around them and their place within it. Next time you look at a goose, a bear, or a hare, remember the extraordinary role they played in the grand narrative of ancient Rome.